Today we're talking about the mimic clip. So I'll show it off first, and then we'll go over how it works. Group the mimics on the left side of the room. You want to watch the mimics themselves. If you're paying attention, you can see when they move a pixel to the left. And that'll tell you if you're making progress or not. And there, the door's open. Okay, so what's happening? What is happening? Oh, right, controller's bad. Okay, so what's going on? So here, I've walked the mimics, I guess a distance into the block. It's, yeah, where they are is 1 pixel away from where the collision will push them backwards, vertically. And so, with the wall, we're just trying to get the same positioning as what we have right here, and then move them 1 over, and they'll get pushed around. So from this position, which happens to be where the bottom right mimic starts when you enter the room, you just need to move him once to the left, and then the collision will push him outwards. So moving mimics, you press no D-pad inputs, and then hold A. They'll grab the wall, and then you can move them freely. Yeah, moving mimics, just use the D-pad. So to move him for 1 frame, we're going to press right so they go left, and then interrupt the movement with a pause. Select works too, but I get better results with start. So you want to press right for 1 frame. So I'm going to hold right and press pause 1 frame after I press right. Too early is fine, too late is pretty bad. Okay, so we got it here. And coming out of this, I'm going to hold down so that they move upwards. So you do that before this menu goes away. You're holding up or down, in this case down. If you hold up, then they'll be pushed upwards. But here, I'm going to hold down, so they'll be pushed downwards. And they're out of the room. So, here's just what happens if I press off instead. Here. So he got pushed backwards, and now he's above the block, and that's not helpful. Here's the easy setup. Let's just walk him into the block, and then it's only once. Do it once, and then hold down. The harder setup doesn't use the block, but it can be used in more places. So it can be used in Mimics 2, which is the next room, and also in Pod. Palace of Darkness. Except for the going into the backside of Palace of Darkness, because the statue blocks it. Or the moving the moving walls block them. So you can't do this in the back half of pod until you move the walls. Anyway, now I'm gonna move them into the wall on the left here. So I'm gonna hold right, after one frame, press start, and then we'll see if they move by watching the mimic spraying. So there they did. And coming out of this menu, I hold up or down, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna use up. That didn't look like he moved, so I might have did it one frame too long. And he just didn't move. There he did move. There I did pause too early. There they moved. And now they're out of sync. So this means one of them is going to get pushed out of bounds before the other one. So you have to do this 8 times total. So it's just repeating the same thing. Hold right, press pause 1 frame later, and coming out of the pause you hold up or down. So now he's in the wall, and the collision is pushing him around, like always backwards to try to correct him. But in this case there is no correction. He's going out of bounds either way, unless we press left or right to bring him back in. So in this position, you want him to exit through the bottom because that's closer. And so he's off. Now the other one just needs one more. And he's gone. Okay. So because we didn't kill the mimics, then they count as sprites still. And that interferes with how these beam mouse operate. So they're not likely to attack me, but it's possible they can still. It's just not that common. Yeah, I think I'll take these out through the bottom one. Through the bottom wall. So I'm gonna hold up this time. And then hold them in place with a left or right. The trick works on any wall. It's just you get more comfortable with one wall over the other. Like as you do it, you get comfortable with your approach. I'm not having great success with this bottom wall. I think it's the same number of pixels into the wall you need to send them. I have been missing a few, pausing too late, so that's why I gotta do some extra. There's one guy. There's the other. There you have it. That's how you get through GT without the bow. So here's what failure looks like. So let's get them in a bit. 6x, multiple successes. Okay, so now they're deep in the wall. And I don't know. Watch the sprite and you'll see how it goes. So they are pushed out inbounds more. And that's just what happens when you press start late. It doesn't reset your progress completely, but you have to redo like those 3 or 4 pixels. So it really sets you back. I think that was the no progress one. Sometimes they don't get knocked into or out of the wall. Okay, one more. And now the bufferless method. I'm not going to be able to get it, most likely. I can talk about it. So my grip is rotate the controller 90 degrees. I got left hand on A, so I have free control. And then with my right hand, I take the nail of my index finger, and I'm going to run that across the right and up buttons. And so the mimics do they just flicker. Like, I'm getting it a couple times. So like, this is what it looks like. But you have to like really practice at it to get good. So I'm just running my finger from right to up. The sliding motion. Because you still have to do one frame of right, and then next frame is up. Yeah, I'm not great at it, but that's what it looks like. So just get that 8 consecutive times and they'll be in the wall, and you're done.